When I applied for my first passport at 29, the clerk looked at my birth certificate and said, "This person has been deceased since 1999. I laughed. Like an actual laugh, because obviously I was standing right there, very much alive, filling out paperwork to go to Cancun with my boyfriend. The clerk didn't laugh back. She typed something, squinted at her screen, then picked up a phone and called someone without saying a word to me. "Ma'am, I'm going to need you to wait in the lobby." I sat there for 45 minutes watching other people get their passport photos taken, while I tried to figure out how a living, breathing, tax-paying 29-year-old woman could be legally dead. A man in a gray suit came out and introduced himself as a supervisor. He had my file in his hands and a look on his face like he was trying to solve a math problem that didn't add up. According to our records, Jolene Diane Whitfield, born April 3rd, 1994, died August 12th, 1999. He read it like a weather report. Death certificate filed in Washoe County, Nevada. Cause of death listed as accidental drowning. I was 5 in 1999. I don't remember much from that age, but I definitely remember not drowning. I grew up in Bozeman, Montana, with my dad. Just the two of us. Small apartment above a hardware store. He worked at a lumberyard during the day and drove for a delivery service 3 nights a week. We didn't have much, but I never went hungry and I never got hit, which, as I'd later find out, was a significant upgrade from my previous living situation. My dad never talked about my mother, not once. When I asked, he'd say she passed away when I was little and that it was too painful to discuss. I stopped asking around age 10 because it clearly gutted him every time. I had a birth certificate, a social security number, school records going all the way back to first grade in Montana. Everything checked out. Everything had always checked out. Until today, when apparently the federal government decided I'd been dead for 25 years. The supervisor asked me to provide additional identification. I gave him everything I had. Driver's license, social security card, 2 credit cards, my work badge from the veterinary clinic where I'd been employed for 6 years. He took it all into the back and left me sitting there for another hour. When he came back, he had 2 other people with him. One introduced herself as being from the Department of Health and Human Services. The other didn't introduce himself at all. "Ms. Whitfield, do you know a woman named Candace Whitfield?" My mother's name. The one my dad said was dead. "She's my mother. She died when I was young." The woman from HHS glanced at her colleague. "Your mother is alive. She lives in Sparks, Nevada. She reported you drowned in a neighbor's swimming pool in August of 1999. There was a funeral, a burial, a headstone with your name on it." My ears started ringing. I could hear my own heartbeat louder than her voice. "That's not possible." She pulled up a photo on her tablet. A small grave marker. Jolene Diane Whitfield. April 1994. August 1999. Beloved daughter. The letters were weathered but legible. Someone had left plastic flowers on it recently. "I need to call my dad," I said. He didn't answer. He never answered calls from numbers he didn't recognize, so I texted him. "Dad, I need you to call me right now. It's important." He called back in 3 minutes. I stepped outside because I couldn't have this conversation in front of strangers. "Dad, why does the government think I'm dead?" Silence. The kind of silence that weighs 400 pounds. "Jolene, where are you right now?" "I'm at the passport office. They say I drowned in 1999. They say Mom is alive. They say there's a grave with my name on it." "Dad, what happened?" He started crying. Not the kind of crying where someone's embarrassed or caught off guard. The kind where you can hear 25 years of something breaking open all at once. "Your mother's boyfriend broke your arm twice before you turned 4, he said. His voice was barely a whisper. "She watched him do it. I called the police both times. Both times she told them you fell. Both times they believed her. I tried to get custody. Judge said I had no stable income and no permanent address. Gave her full custody and told me I could have supervised visits twice a month." He took a breath that sounded like it hurt. "The second time he broke your arm, I drove 12 hours, waited until he left for work, and I took you. Your mother called the cops and reported a kidnapping, but I was already across 2 state lines by morning. 3 weeks later, she told everyone you drowned. Filed the death certificate herself. I don't know if she did it to stop people from looking for you, or because she wanted the sympathy, or because she just wanted to pretend you never existed, but I wasn't about to correct her, because a dead kid is a kid nobody searches for." I leaned against the wall of the passport office and slid down until I was sitting on the concrete. "You let me think she was dead, because if you knew she was alive, you might have tried to find her, and if you found her, you'd have found him." I sat there on that sidewalk for a long time after we hung up. A woman walked past me and asked if I was okay. I told her I was fine. I wasn't fine. I was 25 years dead and just now learning what it cost my father to keep me alive. He gave me a fake death so I could have a real life, and he carried that secret every single day, knowing that if anyone ever pulled the thread, he'd lose me to a system that had already failed me twice. I never did get that passport. But I drove to Bozeman that weekend and sat across from my dad at the same diner we'd been going to since I was 6. He looked older than I remembered, tired in a way that wasn't just physical. I reached across the table and grabbed his hand, and I said the only thing that mattered, "You didn't kidnap me, Dad. You rescued me." He squeezed my hand so hard it almost hurt, and for the first time in my life, I watched my father smile without any sadness behind it.